Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Tuesday, July 6th, 2021. I am Fredicia Liebert. The decision to implement a 24-hour lockdown in Nevis from July 3rd to 12th was not taken lightly, according to Premier the Honourable Mark Brantley, who says the government is primarily concerned with the preservation of life and the protection of people. In a Facebook post on July 2nd, Premier Brantley noted that the recent positive COVID-19 cases on Nevis and the ongoing contact tracing has caused great concern among the healthcare professionals. He added that the next several days will allow the health team to undertake the contact tracing more efficiently. Premier Brantley said, as always, he asks for prayers as we fight this battle together, adding that he is certain with God's grace and mercy we shall overcome. Meantime, the Statutory Rules and Orders number 27 of 2021 make provisions for 2 days of limited operation, Thursday 8th and Friday 9th July. The following businesses may be allowed to operate between the hours of 5 a.m. and 6 p.m. Bakeries, supermarkets, pharmacies, private medical facilities and doctors' offices, health centers and other vaccination sites, banks and credit unions, gas stations, courier services, and such other businesses or undertakings as may be approved by the Commissioner of Police in writing. Senior citizens, disabled persons, and essential workers with identification shall be granted priority to enter any business or enterprise. Motor omnibuses, taxis, and ferries may be allowed to operate for hire, provided there is not more than 2 passengers per row of seating. All persons wear a mask at all times. Windows remain open or partially open, depending on the weather conditions. And all persons practice good hand hygiene, proper sanitary behavior, and social distancing protocols. Farmers and fishers may also operate and shall adhere to social and physical distancing protocols. The extension of the state of emergency to December 31st, 2021 allows the government of St. Kitts and Nevis the latitude to do all it can to keep the people of the Federation safe. So notes the Honourable Mark Brantley, Parliamentary Representative for Nevis 9 in the National Assembly.
We understand that some members of the public naturally hear state of emergency and they become alarmed. But I believe that all of us should understand that this is merely a constitutional mechanism to ensure that everything done in terms of keeping our people safe, curfews, the relevant provisions, stay-at-home orders, and the like, that they accord with law and that they have the full backing of the Constitution and of the laws of St. Kitts and Nevis. I believe the evidence will show that this government has behaved responsibly at every step. And we have listened to the experts and we have implemented protocols and provisions that they have advised us to do.
The resolution to extend the state of emergency was moved by Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Timothy Harris and seconded by Minister Brantley. At the emergency sitting of the National Assembly on June 28th, Mr. Brantley also used the opportunity to commend the Ministries of Health in St. Kitts and Nevis and the COVID-19 Task Force.
I have in mind Mr. Abdius Samuel, Dr. Cameron Wilkerson, Dr. Hazel Laws, our CMO. I have in mind over in Nevis, Dr. Judy Nisbet, who heads the local task force there, and her team. I have in mind all the members of the task force on Nevis and St. Kitts, our Minister of Health who's here, our Junior Minister of Health on Nevis, all the functionaries who have really been at work since March of last year. And when I say at work, I mean at work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If we ever required exemplars of national service, I believe that these individuals have exemplified national service, particularly in a time of crisis in our country. And I believe that this Parliament and every one of us out there ought to celebrate them for the sacrifice that they would have made to keep us safe and to bring us to this point.
The Honourable Mark Brantley, Parliamentary Representative for Nevis 9 in the National Assembly. Still to come, Ministry of Education prepares for establishment of National Teaching Council. The details right after this break.
One Nevis, I couldn't rest. I have to get this thing off my chest. I am King Astro, 4 times Culturama Calypso Monarch, and back-to-back St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Calypso Monarch. And I took the COVID vaccine because I want to do my part in the fight against COVID-19. I am feeling a sense of peace in my mind. My body is feeling great. So I'm encouraging you all to go out and vaccinate and help us fight this monster, COVID-19. I said, don't wait, vaccinate.
For more information or to get vaccinated, visit your nearest health center. This message was brought to you by the Department of Public Health, Nevis.
Welcome back. Prime Minister, the Honourable Dr. Timothy Harris, is currently leading a St. Kitts and Nevis delegation to the 42nd regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of CARICOM, being held via video conferencing on Monday 5th and Tuesday 6th July. Making up the local delegation are Premier of Nevis and Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honourable Mark Brantley, Financial Secretary Hilary Hazel, Permanent Secretaries Kay Bass, Osmond Petty, and Ron Collins, Ambassadors His Excellency Sidney Osborne and His Excellency Vance Amory, as well as Samuel Burridge, Assistant Secretary in St. Kitts and Nevis Regional Integration and Diaspora Unit. The 2-day meeting is expected to cover matters including the ongoing political situation in Haiti, updates on the recent volcanic eruption in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as flooding in Guyana and Suriname. The CARICOM heads and other delegates will also discuss the current COVID-19 situation and its impact on the economies of the region. Other areas of engagement will include the implementation of the CARICOM single market and economy, advancing the CARICOM agri-food systems agenda, an update on the negotiation on the removal of roaming charges, tax transparency, blacklisting and de-risking, and the establishment of a diplomatic mission of CARICOM in Nairobi, Kenya. The Ministry of Education, through the support of UNESCO on Monday, July 5th, held a virtual meeting with department heads and other stakeholders to discuss issues relevant to the establishment of a National Teaching Council as part of the professionalization of the teaching force. The meeting continues a series of consultations with the aim of developing a regulatory framework and operational guidelines for the establishment of the National Teaching Council and to produce a draft operational guideline for the established National Council. This is outlined in the 2017 to 2021 Education Sector Plan. The establishment of a National Teaching Council will ensure more coherent oversight and regulation of teaching and teacher education within the Federation as it fosters high standards in the teaching profession. The consultations will continue with other stakeholders and teachers in St. Kitts and Nevis. Monday's meeting was chaired by Dr. Tricia Esdale, Senior Assistant Secretary in the Ministry of Education. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liebert. Thank you for viewing.